Alrighty guys, buckle up and hold on because we are going to fly through the east coast of Florida, starting with the Space Coast, working our way down to the beautiful Treasure Coast, finally landing in Port Saint Lucie, Florida. Alright, so first of all guys, if you didn't know this already, I am a licensed realtor in the state of Florida, and you already know which coast that I prefer. So if you or anyone else that you know is looking to relocate to the beautiful east coast of Florida, don't hesitate to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email because I'll watch your we're moving to the Florida East Coast. Also, I did launch a new website where I have not one, not two, but 3 MLSs tied directly to the search feature, which will allow you to find the best fit for your new Florida dream home. My website is fleastcoast.com. Go ahead and log on today and let me know what you think. I'm always trying to improve it, and your feedback is very much appreciated. Alrighty guys, so let's jump straight into this. You already know about my gorgeous hometown of Vero Beach. However, did you know that the entire stretch of the East Coast that I cover is an escape from the busy city life? Yes, you heard me right. Melbourne, Palm Bay, Sebastian, Vero Beach, and even Port Saint Lucie are all relatively small when compared to other metro areas in our beautiful state. I love our stretch of the East Coast for this reason, and chances are if you're still tuning in, you appreciate that about us too. The pace slows down and the cocktails don't stop around here. So let's go ahead and talk about what we all share in common around these parts. So all towns that we're talking about are relatively easy to drive to between one another and are all located in a convenient spot if you wanted to explore the rest of the state. We have this awesome toll-free highway, at least on our stretch of the East Coast, called I-95, and don't let the name fool you. The speed limit here is only 70 miles an hour, but if you were to spend your time driving in the left lane, most people think that the 95 in the name is actually the speed limit. This brings us to the tip number 1 about Florida driving. So if you don't want everyone around here to hate you, or at least even the cops to even pull you over, because yes, this is a new rule now, don't stay in the left lane. This lane is simply for passing the cars in the middle or the right lane, and then you're meant to merge back over when you've gone around who you needed to get around. None of these towns, to my knowledge, are going to have any kind of tolls to park at your favorite restaurants, visit your favorite beach, or yes, even park your trailer when launching your boat. Alrighty guys, so as promised, firstly, we're going to be talking about Melbourne. So located on the Space Coast, Melbourne offers a combination of high-tech job market and a vibrant downtown and beautiful beaches too. So if you're in the engineering or tech industry, Melbourne is a great place to settle down with a prominent companies like Northrop, Grumman, and L3Harris having their significant presence here. But it's not all work in Melbourne. The city offers a great balance of recreational and cultural activities. So take a trip over to the Brevard Zoo or the Eel Galley Arts District. Enjoy a show at the King Center for Performing Arts or explore the annual Melbourne Art Festival. Plus, the beautiful beaches and fishing spots are always just a short drive away. Education options are strong in Melbourne with facilities like Eastern Florida State College and Florida Institute of Technology, FIT, where my sister went, where she got a full ride because of rowing. So call me if you want to hear more about that. Rowing is a great sport where the competition isn't oversaturated in the Florida area. The healthcare scene is also robust with Health First Holmes Regional Medical Center located right in the city. So now let's first move a bit north to the master plan community of Viera. So Viera is a gem located conveniently between Rockledge and Melbourne. It's a town designed with perfect blend of residential, commercial, and recreational areas. Viera is also home to the Brevard Zoo and Duran Golf Club, offering residents a plethora of outdoor activities. It also hosts a USSSA Space Coast Complex, a major hub for softball and baseball tournaments. It's also home to the Space Coast Iceplex, which means, believe it or not, it is actually an ice hockey rink right here on the blazing hot Florida coast. So if that's a sport you or your kids play and you think you need to leave that in the past when moving here, think again. Melbourne and Viera has you covered. For those of you looking to enjoy shopping and dining, the Avenue Viera will be your go-to, offering a wide variety of retail stores, restaurants, and entertainment options. Health's First Viera Hospital provides top-notch healthcare services, and the area schools are part of the well-regarded Brevard Public Schools District. Both Melbourne and Viera offer a wonderful lifestyle with a lower cost of living than many other Florida cities, and with the added benefit of no state income tax like every other place that we're going to talk about today. Each city has its unique features and welcoming community that makes residents feel right at home. Another important thing to note is that if you are a young professional, this city city is going to have the most for you by far when compared to the other towns that we talk about on our list today. So let's say that you're one of the lucky dogs who work out of Orlando but only need to visit the office a few times a month. With Melbourne being the northernmost city on our list, you are only about an hour away from the office from there and 45 minutes away if you decide to move to Viera. So remember, while research is a great starting point and watching these videos is a great starting point, there's no substitute for visiting these cities in person. So come and see what makes Melbourne and Viera such a wonderful place to live, and we will be waiting for your call for that. Alrighty, so now moving on down south to Melbourne's more laid-back counterpart, Palm Bay, Florida. So here is where you can find the most affordable new construction neighborhoods such as Waterstone Village with 4 different builders, not including Cypress Bay and Cypress Bay West by D.R. Horton, scattered lot builders, and everything in between, because there's just so much land that can be built on in this area. Palm Bay is separated by 4 different quadrants, with most of the new construction following on the western side of these quadrants. This features neighborhoods like Waterstone Village, Cypress Bay and Cypress Bay West, St. John's Preserve by Miranda Homes, and Edgewood by Everlands by Lennar. There are a few scattered neighborhoods in the eastern side, with one of my favorites being the Grand Valkyria area, being Crystal Bay by D.R. Horton, building hundreds and hundreds of homes, bringing in lots of new life to that area of Florida. So Palm Bay is also an outdoor enthusiast dream with over 30 parks sprinkled throughout the city. Most of these gyms are going to be nestled around Turkey Creek, including the beautiful Turkey Creek Sanctuary. So whether you're looking for pavilions, playgrounds, walking paths, green spaces, or even basketball and tennis courts, there's no shortage of them out here. The city even caters to the adventurous at heart with a paintball arena and a skate park. So next time that you're having a disagreement with a sibling, tell them to meet you at the paintball arena. For those of you who love water, Palm Bay doesn't disappoint. Pollock Park and Guad Park offer several boat ramps perfect for you launching your boat, kayak, sup, or canoe. There's even a dedicated kayak launch spot at the Turkey Creek Sanctuary. And for those of you who prefer freshwater, the Three Forks Marsh is a great place to cruise around on the St. Johns River. If swimming is more your speed, the city's aquatic center is conveniently located at the Eastern Florida State College campus in Southeast Palm Bay. With dedicated times for lat swimming and general swimming, there's something for everyone. This, of course, is just an example of many places that you can choose from to go ahead and take a dip. So now let's go ahead and talk about Palm Bay's education system. With 3 high schools, 1 middle school, 12 elementary schools, and 5 charter schools, families have plenty of options to choose from. Review sites like schooldigger.com and greatschools.org rate Palm Bay schools from fair to great, but I encourage you to do your own research to find the right fit for your kiddos. As for traffic, Palm Bay isn't immune to the occasional logjam, especially during the rush hour. So high traffic areas include Palm Bay Road between Minton and Dairy Road and Malabar Road near I-95. So however, if you familiar yourself with the quadrants of Palm Bay and the network of side streets around the canals, you'll find plenty of alternate routes. Waterfront living is also an option in Palm Bay. The city boasts a series of canals, with Tillman Canal being one of the most prominent. While these canals are primarily for flood control, they offer homeowners increased privacy with their backyard neighbors. So if you're interested in living on a waterway where you can take your boat out on, check out the northeast section of the town along Turkey Creek or the Palm Bay Point community on the Indian River. There are also options along US 1 with houses on one side and docks on the other. Lastly, Palm Bay is in a stone's throw from the beach, which can be a pro or a con depending on your lifestyle. So remember, there is no bridge to the beach in Palm Bay. If being within 20 minutes of the beach is crucial, consider living as far north and east as possible. So that northeast quadrant we were talking about earlier, the quickest route to the beach is going to be via the Melbourne Causeway, which will take you straight to the boardwalk. Here's a couple little bonus tips based on previous clients that I've had in the past too. I get a lot of fishermen that watch this channel, and I also, one thing that I didn't expect to get is a lot of Harley Davidson riders. So Palm Bay is home to one of the largest fishing stores in the world, Bass Pro Shops, and is also home to one of the largest Harley Davidson dealerships as well. If you're itching to toss out a line or cruise to Daytona for a bike week, Palm Bay has what you need. And now, yes, moving on to the little fishing village of Sebastian, Florida. So for those of you looking to pump the brakes on the hustle and bustle while also being out in a convenient spot in the state, look no further than this charming little town of Sebastian. So my in-laws had a 5-acre ranch in St. Cloud, Florida, and lived there for most of their adult lives. They started off by buying the land and parking a little trailer until they had saved up enough money to build their own dream home. This pace of life was perfect for them and up until Osceola County decided to open up the floodgates and start this little project you might be aware of called Lake Nona. The city grew so rapidly it pushed out almost every ranch on acreage in the area, including them. So when Pacabooga and Grand Magoon, and yes, those are their nicknames, decided to retire and look for a small coastal town with a laid-back vibe, we told them to look no further than good old Sebastian, Florida. With its plethora of waterfront bars and restaurants, convenient inlet for fishing, low population, lower cost of living and housing prices, and artistic charm, it was the perfect fit for them, and it might be for you too. So Grand Magoon's favorite thing to do in Sebastian is to hunt for sea glass to make art projects with, and when it's calm outside, she is always loading up her kayak and launching it on the side of A1A at her secret spot near the inlet. Pacabooga's favorite thing to do, however, is trying all the new restaurants up and down Indian River Drive and occasionally taking his boat to one of the many islands in the lagoon near the crystal clear blue water from the Atlantic. He's got a 17-foot Mako skiff, and it's the perfect boat to navigate the inshore waters of the Indian River Lagoon. Just don't try taking it offshore. There's something that will happen there too. The Sebastian Inlet can be really squirrely at times and can get really sketchy very quickly. All right, so now it's time to talk a little bit about my beautiful hometown of Vero Beach, Florida. So I love this area so much that my wife and I decided to move back even after shopping around the entire state of Florida. We're not kidding. We spent countless weeks exploring Venice, Florida, Sarasota, Florida, Naples, the Panhandle, and many more spots, and we still ended up moving here and moving our family here as well. So I like to explain Vero as the place that has everything you need without being overcrowded. It is the hidden gem of the East Coast, and it's with its historic downtown strip, lively Ocean Drive area, and even plenty of life of shopping out west of town as well. So as much as the locals want to complain about the traffic picking up in our little town, I recommend they drive south to Florida near like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Boca Raton areas to get a true taste of what overcrowded feels like. I made one visit there a few weeks ago, and I do not plan on going back. So whether you're looking for a trendy coffee shop to get some computer work done, fine dining date nights, endless fishing spots, deserted beaches to relax, or even looking to spend the day out on the golf course, put Vero Beach on the map as your top place to visit. Alrighty guys, last but certainly not least, because we are just working our way from the north part of where I covered down to the south, and we're finally landing on Port Saint Lucie, Florida. So Port Saint Lucie is part of the Treasure Coast along with the Vero Beach and Sebastian that we spoke about earlier, which got its name from the Spanish shipwrecks off the coast. The city boasts a small town feel with a population of just under 225,000, making it a less expensive alternative to the larger cities to the south. Now I will say this area does feel most densely populated when compared to the every other city that we spoke about earlier. So residents love Port St. Lucie's friendly community vibe. New neighbors are warmly welcomed, and it's common to see locals chatting, waving hello, and enjoying the slower pace of life. The city is home to families and retirees, as well as people looking for a tranquil place to live. Port St. Lucie matches the national average to the cost of living index, sitting right at 100. The median home price is $395,000, but it's worth noting that it's primarily a car-dependent city with a walk score of just 13 rated online. This means that the bikes and your legs will mostly be used for exercise rather than means for transportation. If you're thinking about living in a master plan community, Port St. Lucie offers Traditions, one of Florida's top communities. It encompasses 8,300 acres with 11 different neighborhoods. Home prices here range from $300,000 to nearly $1 million. The community is filled with amenities like high-end retail, restaurants, bars, fitness centers, clubhouses, pools, basketball courts, tennis and pickleball courts, and more. Got to catch my breath after that one. Schools are plentiful too, making it the perfect place for families to call home as well. When it comes to affordability, Port St. Lucie stands out in South Florida. Its cost of living is lower than Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, making it an attractive place for those seeking a quieter lifestyle that is still close to the beach and full of outdoor activities. activities. Now, I want you to notice what I did there. I said cost of living is lower than the neighbors to the south, not the north like every other city that we mentioned in this video. That's because while the cost of living or the cost of buying a home may be similar to Vero Beach, Port St. Lucie has much higher taxes and additional CDD fees that we don't see here in Indian River County. So the CDD fees are more so found in the traditions area that we spoke about earlier, that master plan community, and that's where things can really start to pick up in price. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind there. For you baseball fans, Port St. Lucie is home to Clover Park, the spring training home of the New York Mets. You can also catch the St. Lucie Mets Class A team and the Gulf Coast Mets Rookie League team there in action there as well. So nature lovers will also find their place in Port St. Lucie. There's the Savannahs Preserve, a state park, the North Fork, St. Lucie Aquatic Preserve, and the Oxbow Eco Center, offering hiking, biking, fishing, hunting, and kayaking opportunities as well. So finally, golfers will feel right at home in Port St. Lucie. The city is home to PGA Golf Club, offering lessons for all ages and skill levels. Plus, there's plenty of golf courses and golf communities to explore. So to wrap that all up, if you're seeking for a place with a friendly community, ample amenities, and a love for outdoor activities, consider making Port St. Lucie your new home. Alrighty guys, so I hope that you enjoyed that video of me breaking down all the areas that we cover here on Living the Florida East Coast. Again, if you are interested in relocating to any of these areas you heard about today, please don't hesitate to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, because we'll have your back when relocating to the Florida East Coast. Also, don't forget about our website, fleastcoast.com, and I'll see you next week. Bye.